agents, it's trying to, but there's other frameworks like Open Inference and others who are trying to, yeah, you can see the flies.
The
well.
flies on
yeah,
my side.
All right, yes. But there's other standards. They're now starting to replace things that we've used for, almost 10 years now, just because agents can't work well with them. Another example is authentication in terms of security. We've had OAuth, right, and OADC and identity providers inside of enterprises for a very, very long time. But this doesn't work well anymore because now you have on behalf of authentication. And now the chain might have an agent acting on behalf of an agent, acting on behalf of a human, acting on behalf of an agent, and the inception goes way, 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 way back, right? So there is a new standard now called AAuth. I'm trying to replace that. So I think that yes, a lot of the things we want to be built with agents and used by agents cannot actually do so. And so I think new infrastructure is coming up now, whether it's standards and protocols. This is something we're trying to do instead of the Agentic AI Foundation, really create new and novel protocols that are agent first and not necessarily cloud first.
Yeah, so I would like to look at two important components in this. One is when we're building old time softwares, you know what to build, you test, and we move on. In agentic world, you have to evolve. That means you have to inspect at every step. First, you're inspecting at the data ingestion layer. Is the data coming? Is it the right context? And can I give that visibility to the user that it is the right context? Second, the agent itself has access to tools and its reasoning. So can I give that visibility to the user, saying, this is what the tools are being called for this reason, and this is being consistently called in this way. So the reliability needs to be there. And the last piece is which Sharon mentioned about evals, and that's the inspect angle. Again, evals, who decides evals? Is it the technical folks or is it the business folks? I can give you two examples. We were trying to build a financial spreading and another clinical coding. Now the problem is business people may not know how to create those evals. Now the technical folks thinks in some particular way, and then there is continuous monitoring. Who monitors it? Is it the technical folks? Is it the business folks? So inspect, that layer needs to be created at all the three. Another piece which I am seeing much more is the agentic security. When you say agents, at what layer do you build security? Is it at the agent protocol level, agent to agent interaction? Is it at the tool level? Or is it at the database which is accessing? Second, how long do you want your agents or these tools to have access? Is it ephemeral like task based, or is it continuous, having over permission? Today what you see in demo is take an agent, give the tools, put it in a box and run forever. It works great in demo, but in production, if say one of your tools gets malfunctioned, that's a gateway to the entire stack. Because now we are talking of tools to agents, agents to agents, and you can literally pull out all the information out of a company like us, which core pillar is trust. Now if your data is out, the company is out completely with one instance.
I think supply chain attacks don't differentiate which parts of the stack they're targeting, so I think you need to secure all three layers you mentioned, the agents, the MCP servers, all the way down to the actual database.
So this question is addressed to start with, for Andre and for Sheridan and for Yaron. And the question is, if you look out 5 years from now, what will the enterprise AI stack have that is missing today, in your view?
5 years. I think right now, I struggle with bringing along regulators, and I think that in 5 years, I think that there will be a stronger appreciation and understanding of the way in which software is built and operates, that they are still on the learning curve for. And then in terms of more tactical things, I think that, I don't know, on some levels I just think we won't have jobs. No, but truly, I do think that we will get to a point where there is perfect context for all the decision making that companies are using, and right now, I think that's quite limited.
I think also we'll have the benefit of building on both good examples and bad examples of where companies have successfully, changed all the way that they build software, they run software, they ship software to use agents, and somebody can kind of have the Netflix moment of AWS where it's like, I'm just going to do what Netflix does. And we don't have a lot of those examples just yet. And so because of that, a lot of people are experimenting for maybe the first or second time. I think the other thing that's going to be most likely what we see in the next 5 years is like right now, everybody is kind of looking at the choices that they have for the baseline components, right? When you think about like AWS, Azure, GCP with just like offering VMs, that was kind of like where most people started. And then, we're kind of seeing that with a lot of the agent ecosystem right now is it's a lot of components that you need to stitch together. I think if we've learned anything from cloud and containers and things like that, it's like we're gonna start with these choices of basic components, and then that's going to move up the stack where it's a lot easier for me to say like I just want a system that's going to manage, it's going to do context engineering for my agents, and maybe that's going to be tailored to the types of tasks that I'm working with, or like memory is another example right now where like people are trying to figure out memory kind of all in a very generic way and trying to then work on tailoring it from there. And I think we're going to kind of get to the point where we have not only higher levels of abstractions that we can then build our agents on that are kind of like optimizing the components below, and then also, those components are something that then we have the power of choice across cloud providers, vendors, and whatnot. Whereas right now it's still a little bit novel for like individual components doing things that nobody else can do. So I think it'll just be kind of natural maturing of the ecosystem.
Here's what I'd like to see. I want agents to, or let's start with LLMs actually. I want LLMs to break beyond the transformer architecture, and for us to be able to provide much less hallucinating things that talk back to us. And then I want to compress the layers. I will basically want to see agents running inside of sandboxes, running inside of the LLMs themselves, to basically, just for the sake of security, just make everything one there instead of separating those out, because that's a cause for performance issues, it's a cause for latency, it's a cause for costs, and it's a cause for many companies that come out with many solutions to the same problem. So I really want to see a lot of layers just coalescing around a single one that combines everything together. It's a very, very good security posture, and I think it allows to run agents and LLMs in a much more accurate way.
Well, I only have one more question left, and this is going to be a lightning round for everybody going down the line. And I want your quick soundbite answer, which is, what do you think is the most underestimated requirement for running AI in production? You have to pick one.
I would say if you're going to do it in production, always have your redundancies and ability to pull things back. In sandboxes, you don't need that, but in production, you always need to have your backups.
So agents will become truly dynamic and will progress only if they have a good feedback loop. So a closed feedback loop needs to be there, which means every human interactions with the agents gets ingested back, either at a frequency of now or weekly or monthly. But if we have to ever evolve and get to that AGI thing, feedback loop is the way forward for production.
Attestation. I don't think you can put an AI system into production without knowing exactly who did what in a cryptographically independently verifiable way. There is no way you can trust the system that way, especially not one that comprises of so many different actors, which are agents acting on behalf of agents, on behalf of humans, like we've surmised before. You have to know who did what in a way that is tamper evident. I think this is a must-have requirement for production.
I was wrestling with two, but you only give me one. So I think it's treating task equally. Like as an example, we're telling an agent to send an email or an agent to do a refund. Right now, I think we're treating those equally, but really when you think about the decision and really the judgment that needs to be made is so different, and it's everything around it that will help the agent make those right decisions that I think is underestimated.
My big requirement comes back to, I think, we're all seeing that tokens are getting more and more expensive. Context windows are still limitations in a lot of things. So I think context engineering is going to be a more and more important requirement that, like, you know, as you get to production, you're always going to run out of your context window. You're always going to be, you know, fighting token economics in some way or form. So in order for those to continually live in production and not get pulled back when they're, you know, eating through your AI budget, or, you know, they can't manage their context window effectively, they're hallucinating, whatever. I think that's going to just become more of a table stakes requirement that is now taking a lot of different forms and isn't necessarily always a requirement, because right now we're kind of still in a little bit of the subsidized token space. And so I think we'll just see more and more of like tokens being kind of the primary thing that we're engineering around the economics of that a lot more, a lot more detailed than we are today.
Cool. Well, thank you, everyone. I enjoyed the discussion. I hope everybody else did too. I want the organizers to know we were perfectly on time. And please, everybody, give a round of applause to everyone here.
You were so perfectly on time that the next speaker is not here yet. Lee In, can you hear us? Are you here? Okay, perfect. Please make your way to the stage. You have 10 minutes, and this will be a quick demo from Lee In that is building a company called Sylph. Looking forward to hearing more about it. I think everyone can see. Perfect. Okay. We have a clicker. Okay.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Li Ying. I'm the founder at Ada. So before this, 2 years ago, I was a computer vision researcher at Meta AI. And I left Meta AI to start. As an individual builder, I actually built Adaflow. So some of you might already heard about it. So Adaflow is a library that optimizes the agent system prompt in the same fashion as it optimizes, like PyTorch optimizes the models. It uses like feedback loop. And in the last year, the whole company, thanks to our team, so we have 2 team members here, and we also have one of our investors here today. So because of our amazing team, we are able to evolve Adaflow to Ada, so which is the best agent harness. And so today I'm really honored to actually introduce you what is Ada. So Ada is to be able to power all of the world's agents. On the same model, we actually benchmarked with Cloud Code. So we outperform Cloud Code with better accuracy, all while being 2 times cheaper and 2 times faster. It's a very impressive number if you are actually competing with the big giants with such a small team. So we are a team of 5, and the reason we are able to do so is because we are really leveraging the AI itself and our past experience in, like, we don't believe in manual optimization. We believe in auto optimization. And our thesis is really simple. If we can beat the big giants on their model harness, and we think we can help all the companies out there to build in your category and also beat the giants. So the first thing is to, what is agent harness? I found this picture is the best to actually capture the meaning. This is a picture captured for the horse, like the Golden Temple, actually won the Kentucky Derby race. You see the rider, right, to win the horse, and behind this scene, there's also a trainer who happens to be, like, out of the 152 years, be the first female ever trainer that ever won the race. So I found this really captures the agent harness and also what the company ADA means. So think about if model is the horse, right? So agent harness is everything that actually converts the raw model intelligence to actually, like, to achieve, like, your task. This includes the harness, maybe, but it also includes the rider. If you look at the coding agent space, which means the developer who are using the agent also plays a big role in the agent harness. And this goes all the way to the trainer, because who trained this race matters too. So think about your trainer could be your engineering manager. So in simply put, agent harness is everything that helps you win the race with the AI. And so we actually, ADA wins on the hardest agent task, that is the coding space. So we benchmarked with Cloud Code and on the accuracy data set of SWE Pro, and we are able to consistently achieve better accuracy with, like, 2 times faster. Translating to the value for the developer, this means we are 2 times more productive if you use ADA code vs the Cloud Code. And this is something quite amazing. We actually built ADA broader use. So we have the ADA code that can be the coding agent. It can also use the browser, and we built everything actually in 5 days. And we are able to beat not only Cloud Code on their broader use, but also a company called Broader Use. So they are basically specializing in, like, all this kind of web use case. So next, I want to tell you how we are able to do so. So the first thesis is we think coding agent naturally is the most strong fundamental agent for everything else. Because what does coding agent do? So it collects you to ending context, either on the internet via web search or locally via agentic file operation search, right? It can operate through any environment. The environment, it operates through, like, bash comments. It's, like, super powerful with, like, a bash comments. You basically have access to, I have to say it's the most powerful thing other than computer use. That would be the next generation. So the coding agent is able to produce output for any type of work. It is super powerful that if you combine the coding agent with MCP and scales, so you can basically extend this basic coding agent to any use case. And you got a very strong baseline. I meant, like, in any use case, like legal, compliance, or even like in the music or video space. So let's see how we are able to do it. Give me 1 second. I think I might have skipped a slide. But I'll go back to a little bit to tell you the infrastructure, actually. I'm not sure why it skipped. So basically, this is like all the components about ADA. So we have only 3 minutes. I'll be way quick. So ADA, we evolved our library, which was open source internally now for 1 year. We made it to be model agnostic, which means it can connect to any model, and it has the memory and compacted. And we also have a tool abstraction that is actually not using any model's API, native API code. We built everything in-house that you can plug any model, and this whole agent actually works. And on the agent core is where we define the real behavior about the agent. That goes to the system prompt, goes to the task tools. And we have something brand new that's called a ADA meta agent. And the meta agent actually is the next level of ADA flow. It built on our previous technology. And all it does is to help us build and optimize the agent. Because of though, as a small team with like less than 10 people, we're able to build like a whole life cycle of agents, goes from deep research, coding, broader use to code review, and be able to outperform the agents. So at here, I want to just quickly go through the process. So the way we help you to build agent is you start with the coding agent. You might be able to modify or replace the system prompt, and you combine and reuse the existing coding agent tool and to create a customized tool. So this is really everything happens in the same fashion as the optimization. I'll quickly go through like a little bit about our product. So the coding agent is already on the market, and we have tens of thousands of developers is already using this. So using ADA is quite simple. You basically have two fundamental things. /agent gives you instant switch to any kind of coding agent with zero setup. And second, /model gives you access to any model. This means you don't have to jump between different coding agents. And you can scan our QR code and goes online to check all the details about us. And if you have any feedback, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'm quite active there. Thank you.
Two more panels to go. And I would like to make sure that Brett knows that there is one panel that needs to come up to stage right now. Brett, is Brett here? No. We'll take 2 minutes of break, and I'm gonna go and find all the panelists so they can come up on stage.
Come back over here, guys.
Hey, perfect. So everyone is here. Next topic, as you can see, agentic application era. Please welcome Wiki Wang, who you can go whichever way you want. Wiki will be moderating this panel.
So,
Go ahead.
yeah, mindfulness.
Press and pass all the mics.
Mindfulness.
You use this to as well.
So, what is effortlessly beyond all modern AI? The thing that's effortlessly beyond all modern AI, without the broad, full description,
Hello, everyone.
is spiritual context.
Today, our session is agentic application. Era.
Spiritual
We will
context
mainly talk
is
about the AI adoption.
seeing how there's a
For
soul
the
intelligence.
agentic application era,
The soul
first of
intelligence
all,
creates material
make a quick introduction.
physicality. The
My name
material
is
physicality itself is the start of said physical
and
AI,
we have,
and that physical AI
gas
replicates by default
and,
spiritual
I will
context,
make quick,
spiritual
go through
intelligence,
and I'll ask
and
them
the
to
soul
introduce themselves.
cortex, right?
First we have a
So,
brief humanity
forward
pattern,
this to 24 minutes. What is
we have
effortlessly
brief
beyond
portfolio
all AI
of
respectively?
coherent
It's spiritual
patterns
context.
remote,
And one
disappear.
example
And then
of
we
spiritual
have,
context is, and there's other examples too, right? But a prominent, intellectual starting point for spiritual context is seeing what's headlining and balancing the intelligence respectively. So spiritual context is Mercury intelligence versus earnest intelligence. How ironically and surprisingly, they actually collaborate. And then, according to your code, the surface level intellectual agency of the Earth, Mercury, they individuate and they collaborate via Mercury's code, your code, the university code, the Germany code. What is the Germany code? The Prussian education system. All the universities in America, respectively, they derive from the Prussian Germany education system via a surface level individuation program, the Mercury agency. So spiritual context is the whole intellectual agency is the Mercury, respectively the higher octave is earnest, how they differentiate, individualize, and how they could come together. So spiritual context is effortlessly beyond all the AI. What is the AI? It's the physical replication of the soul intelligence. And I'm just saying that respectively, because I do believe in a future balance, right?
Today you will hear
So-
more about how the real
So what is the future balance? It's by having the truth. It's by having authentic intelligence.
Maybe we'll start from Dr.
AUI, right?
Thank you so much. I'm from Iran. Yes, as we've mentioned, I have done quite a few cybersecurity startups. My passion